Richard, a great win from your filly today. Put in perspective her performance.
She ran an amazing race. This has been off the layoff. She ran great in the Breeders' Cup. She won the Jasmine. You know, we couldn't be more happy with her. This is kind of a great race for her. We were so excited. You know, we are actually the breeders of this horse as well. So it kind of made it actually super exciting for us. We actually tried to put the horse in the sale, in a yearling sale, and no one wanted her. So isn't that kind of a crazy thing?
It is.
So just very fortunate. Lucky to have Phil Bauer with me and our crew. We have Sergio is our assistant trainer, and Santos is our exercise rider. Jose is our foreman. So all these guys actually probably care more than I do,
and that's a lot.
That's a lot. I always have to make them all feel really good about themselves when we lose.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of a nice thing for me.
Yeah.
Like that's a kind of a crazy situation as being an owner, that I have to be there to make sure that we're all feeling good. And,
yeah. Speaking of fortunate, Richard, first of all, I'm so glad you all are all right from the plane crash, but put in perspective life and everything that you've been through this year. I just can't imagine the ordeal that you and Phil and everybody went through.
So, you know, we were with Phil.
Yeah.
And then Phil and I, we were not really good at, you know, picking horses and going to the races. So we ended up bringing John Moynihan in. And John Moynihan was the missing piece for us. And as you probably know, John Moynihan was on the plane with us.
Right.
So when the plane took off on Lizard Island, Australia, caught on fire, you know, we came back, we landed back, we kind of somersaulted 2 or 3 times, and we just, my 14-year-old daughter was with us, so there was only like super close people in my life that were there with us, and we were just so fortunate that I was kind of the guy that got hurt. You know, so, and you don't want to get stitches in Australia. You don't want to do that. I'm not a mean person.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it's like I said to them, "Are you Dr. Frankenstein?" Martine's been great to us.
Well, good year. I mean, it's rocky, but you go down in a plane crash, you're fine. And your stable just keeps rolling right along. I mean, it's a good thing.
Well, the good thing is that when you have quality horses, you know, you to stay out of their way. You know, anybody could train them. I mean, it's nothing special we're doing. They're just really good athletes, and very, very, very blessed to be alive and be in this position I am. So it's. I think you kind of savor these a little more than you did the ones in the past. But it's all. It's kind of what we wake up every day to do, is to win races and these types. And we're thrilled.
First race of the year for her, and
you know, she told me her last couple breezes. She surprised me where she was. I didn't think she'd get back as quick as she did, and I think good horses just naturally do it. And her last breeze at Churchill, you brought her down here very confident, but I don't think you're bullish with a field like this and a layoff like that. So we thought she'd run well, and we would move forward for the rest of the year. So to run as well as she did, it's you know, just her taking care of us.
You think she's going to be one of the best 3-year-old grass fillies this year?
Well, she's started on a good starting block here, and you know, I think we're going to point towards the Edgewood as long as she comes out of this well. That was the original plan, but after that, it's, you know, grass racing's so unique here and across the summer and stuff. You can go east to west and north to south. So we'll try to plot a path and really figure out how good she is and see where we're at the end of the year.
Did you buy any horses in Australia when you were over there and had the plane
time.
crash?
No, we actually thought about going back to the sale, but we had a couple we had invested in the year before that hadn't really come together. So we wanted to make sure that venture was something we had an understanding with, so we just tapped the brakes and skipped that sale this year.
See, we were talking to Richard a little bit about the thank God you all are all right after the plane crash, but how did that affect your life, or coming back from that, just kind of not having been in the experience that very few people have like you? What was that like for you all? I mean,
I think at the end of the day, you wake up and you're blessed to be alive, so you just kind of keep marching forward. I mean, there's no reason to kind of dwell on it or wonder why, but we're just grateful to be back here in the winner's circle, and life continues as normal. First and foremost, we had, between all of us on there, we had 14 almost orphans, so I think you hug them a little tighter at night, and just they're the focal point of your lives, and I'm very lucky I get to play with the horses.